Tonight, I want to take a look at the Spyderco military. Now, there's not much I can say that has not been said, and I seem to talk about the military quite a bit. But Gundude73 had pointed out to me that I've never really done a review on the military. So, I don't think I have. I've kind of brushed over a few things that I like. But let's go ahead and tell you why this is hands down my favorite Spyderco and is probably in my top 3 favorite knives of all time so far, and I really don't see that changing. The other two would probably be my double gunner grip SNG and the Sebenza in any flavor, whether it's BG42, Damascus, S30V. I just love the Sebenza regular or classic or the 21. Sebenza is pretty much a Sebenza, and they're all about the same. But let's get off that and talk about the military. So the military joins the ranks of those knives, in my opinion, and in some ways surpasses what the Sebenza and the SNG does. Of course, they're all different knives, but for a slicer specific EDC knife, the military is absolutely perfect in my opinion. And another great thing about the military, as you can see here, they come in a lot of different flavors. There are some people who just collect militaries, and I can totally understand that. For me, I'm happy with the 4 I have, and I want to add that CTS XHP when it comes along. But that'll be in due time. So what I have here, if you follow the channel, you probably already know, the M4 military with the frame lock, and the S90V military. If we can see this. I know you guys have seen this knife a bunch of times on my channel. It's because I love it so much. This is the full serrated edge version, S30V. Real old school. Not old school enough to have military stamped on the blade here, but old school enough to be missing the skeletonized liner that's on this face side G10 or non-locking side. So what I mean by that is if you look in this non-locking side, maybe the back would catch it better. You can see that metal liner in there just to add a little bit of rigidity. It kind of comes here and is milled out, I believe, all the way to this third screw way back here and comes down. So it's kind of like a half liner skeletonized. It's basically, in my opinion, just fluff. I mean, it's Sale put it in there. It cost him more money. I don't think he charged much more for the knife after he did it. But the customers want it, so he put it in there for him. But I'm here to tell you my old school one with no reinforcement liner on this face side is just as rigid and as solid as day one. And take a look at that. This is my beater military. This military never gets opened with a thumb, real nice and slow. This is always just kind of flicked like that, always. Action still beautiful on it, and you can see all these scratches. This is kind of a testament to the build quality of these militaries. Even broke the tip off a little bit, if you can see this, if I can get it to focus. And you can kind of see I had to take a stone and come down. And that was because I was pulling out, you see all these scratches on this blade. I was de-weeding our front area of our landscape, little area of our house, and kind of poking this down kind of in the dirt, maybe to cut a root of the weed out, and it poked the driveway or sidewalk, I can't remember, but I kind of just snapped a little bit of that tip off, so kind of rebuilt it. So in no means, I don't think that was abuse, I was just cutting stuff, but I beat up on this knife pretty good. No prying tasks. But you know that when you see a blade that, was kind of real slicer specific like this. Could you call it a hard use knife? I know it's a military, called the military, But I don't know why people just assume that military means, you got to beat the shit out of your tools. I mean, I'm sure they're carrying other stuff, that might be better. This might be slice open their MREs or, whatever they need a knife for, to cut. So I think that's why he went military, cut your food or whatever. It's just a kick-ass knife. It really is. Hard use? I don't know. I wouldn't say so. Hard use cutting task, cutting a sidewall out of a tire? Sure. We've done that here on this channel. Held up just fine. And this may look like it's a little worn. It's not. It come like that. And it hasn't moved. Been using this one a lot. Hasn't moved. This is the M4 military. And we'll update this one a little bit. You can see how deep this lockup is. So I kind of think it's set now. We shouldn't see it move. But if you go back and see I don't know if I did an unboxing for this or not, but it was about there when I got it brand new. And now if it was there, I'd have play. So I mean, the lock did self-adjust. So now there is no play here at all. So I mean, that's why they cut that ramp and stuff. Alright, so enough rambling individually about these knives. What do I like so much about the design that I feel so strongly that it is the best Spyderco for me and my uses? I, for one, love the steel selection. We've already went over that. Love the different handles you can get. And another awesome thing for me is the looks. And I know some people who are not accustomed to the way, Spydercos look might think I'm somewhat crazy. But to me, it's very sleek looking, very utilitarian looking. Just has, a nice little arc kind of flow to it. And in that arc design, it kind of drops that blade down. You can see my handle straight, my hand is straight, and the blade is kind of dropped down a little bit, which matches up with this blade shape just perfectly. Pretty much a straight line, but has a little bit of belly on it so you can get down on a cutting board, or if you wanted to cut maybe a piece of rope backed up by a 2x4, you could really get down and cut that. So they call that negative blade angle. If you were to take a straight ruler here and go from bolt to about middle of the butt, you would see the blade is dropped down. And it also helps for your pull cuts, because now your hand's like this, your blade's kicked up a little bit for angle, and it kind of pulls the material into this section of the blade. And another thing about the military, in use, this pointy, super pointy tip is just awesome. Because let's just go to face it, when you're actually cutting stuff, usually most of my cuts are pierce cuts first and then cut. Or, when I use a knife, I'm stabbing into something or whatever. When I cut cardboard, I guess that's kind of more of a push cut. Well, some of them are stab in and then cut it, like opening a package and whatnot. So anyways, very good stabber. Obviously self-defense, it would be awesome. This full flat grind, which is thick up here and tapers down to a real thin blade, just makes for an awesome slicer. How large the handle is lets you squeeze the handle, and kind of when your palm fat kind of rolls over this, yes, palm fat. So when you squeeze this, your palm fat kind of has a lot of space here, even if your hands are much larger than these mitts that I have. Fits. Finger lines right up with this Spyderco hump. That's perfectly jimped. Just awesome. Really awesome. And another thing I like is how you can get to this liner to unlock it even with gloves on. Same with this oversized hole. Very nice. And I even like this pocket clip. Sticks out of your pocket, but allows you to grab that knife fairly easy even with gloves on and deploy it. So that's why I love the military so much. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight. We'll catch you on the next video.